Hi everyone, my name is Emily Scott and my presentation is on Bordetella Pertussis. I decided to make a Draw My Life as Bordetella Pertussis, so I hope by the end of this presentation you will know all about the life of Bordetella Pertussis. Bordetella Pertussis is a small, gram-negative, aerobic coccobacilli bacteria. Aerobic just means that it can survive and grow in an oxygenated environment. So this guy produces a number of different virulence factors, including pertussis toxin, adenylate cyclase toxin, filamentous hemagglutinin, and hemolysin. And these are just simply molecules that assist the bacteria to colonize the host at the cellular level. They're required for a bacterium to cause disease while infecting hosts, such as humans. They can also do a lot of other things to help along the bacteria, such as immunoevasion, which is evasion of the host's immune system, immunosuppression, which is inhibiting the host's immune response, and obtaining nutrition from the host. A more common name for Bordetella pertussis infection that you've probably heard of before is whooping cough. So Bordetella pertussis is what causes whooping cough. And whooping cough is a highly contagious respiratory disease, and this illness is actually exclusive to humans. So the bacteria will adhere to the tiny hair-like structures called cilia that line the portion of the upper respiratory system. And then these bacteria will then produce toxins that harm the cilia and result in inflammation of the airways. The bacteria colonize only ciliated cells of the respiratory mucosa, and they multiply quite rapidly. So the human respiratory mucosa is kind of the natural habitat for Bordetella pertussis. Here are some signs and symptoms of whooping cough. Though it might begin to seem like a common cold, unlike a cold, the coughing can last for weeks or months. So early symptoms: runny or stuffed up nose, low-grade fever, mild or occasional coughing, and apnea, which is life-threatening pauses in breathing. Some later symptoms include making this high-pitched whoop sound when people are finally able to inhale at the end of a coughing fit, vomit during or after coughing fits, feeling very tired after a coughing fit, and struggling to breathe. So this is the whooping cough disease breakdown in terms of weeks. Your early symptoms are going to be from 1 to 2 weeks. Your later symptoms are going to be from 1 to 6 weeks, but could extend to 10 weeks. And lastly, recovery is about 2 to 3 weeks, and you're very susceptible to other respiratory infections. So some possible treatments. The recommended antimicrobial agents for treatment of pertussis are azithromycin, clarithromycin, erythromycins, and there's another one that I'm not going to pronounce, but it's going to be written at the bottom. The three that I first said are all macrolides, and the last one is a sulfamide. And the thing with the macrolides, when treating infants under 1 month old, clinicians have to be really, really cautious because there is a possible link between taking the oral erythromycin and azithromycin and a condition called infantile hypertrophic pyloric stenosis, or IHPS. And in this condition, the pylorus muscles block food from entering the small intestine, and pyloric stenosis can lead to forceful vomiting, dehydration, and weight loss. But despite this potential risk, azithromycin is still the preferred treatment for young infants with pertussis because the danger of severe pertussis and life-threatening complications outweighs the risks of IHPS. So how Bordetella pertussis is spread? It can be readily transmitted from one person to another through the air. So when an individual with whooping cough coughs or sneezes, they can expel tiny particles containing the bacteria, and others may inhale these bacteria. Additionally, the disease can spread when people are in close proximity for extended periods of time and share the same breathing space. A good example of this is when a mother is holding her newborn to her chest Babies can get whooping cough from family or caregivers who don't even know they have it. Looking at resistance, in 1994, the first B. pertussis strain with reduced sensitivity to macrolide antibiotics was found in Arizona. Since then, many reports of macrolide-resistant B. pertussis strains have been uncommon. However, in the last 10 years, China has seen a growing number of macrolide-resistant B. pertussis cases. There are 3 potential mechanisms researchers believe are causing the resistance. The first theory is due to a genetic change. This mutation hinders macrolides from working properly by affecting their binding site. B. pertussis has 3 copies of this gene, and resistance typically occurs when all 3 copies have this mutation. The second possible cause is the addition of a methyl group in the 23S rRNA, but so far no studies have found this to be the reason for the macrolide resistance in B. pertussis. The third and final proposed mechanism researchers have looked at involves this specific system of efflux pump. We've talked a lot about efflux pumps in class, and in this specific case, it helps the bacteria control their intake of macrolides and removes the molecules from the bacterial cell. This specific mechanism is known to cause resistance to various antimicrobial agents, including macrolides. This occurs in certain bacteria like Pseudomonas aeruginosa. However, in a research study, it was found that it's not functional in Bordetella pertussis due to specific gene deletions. Whether or not a functional efflux system will emerge in Bordetella pertussis remains uncertain. There is great prevention out there to protect against Bordetella pertussis and therefore whooping cough. The most effective way to prevent pertussis is through complete vaccination. The pertussis vaccine is typically administered in combination with diphtheria and tetanus vaccines. Usually, children receive a primary series of 3 doses of either Tdap, which is diphtheria, tetanus, and acellular pertussis, or a similar version, which has diphtheria, tetanus, and whole cell pertussis, between 2 and 12 months of age. A 4th dose is recommended between 11 and 24 months, with an additional dose given between 3 and 6 years of age. To conclude, here are some key facts about Bordetella. Pertussis is a highly contagious respiratory infection characterized by whooping cough. It can affect people of all ages, but most commonly occurs in young children and is particularly risky for infants. Infection can occur throughout the year, but in North America, its activity peaks in summer and fall. Pertussis vaccination is recommended for all ages and are proven to be the most effective prevention tool. Immunity from vaccination decreases with age, so booster shots are recommended for teens and adults. Thanks for watching!